Senator Nozzolio.
Thank you, Madam President, on the resolution. It is with great honor that I rise to welcome home our Vietnam vets. I thank Commander Croce and Senator Murphy for making this day possible. Thank you for carving out in our legislative responsibilities this important moment when we greet our Vietnam veterans and all the Vietnam veterans they represent, and thank them for their service. There are many numbers that were discussed in the resolution, those who fought on behalf of the interests of the United States and the free world during the Vietnam era. I'd like to mention a number that was heretofore not mentioned. Those 55,000 names who are on the Vietnam Memorial, a very moving memorial. And I know those of you who honored our country with your service are moved when you read those names. We all knew some of those names. You served with some of those names. And we honor you and those who have died by remembering your service. Memory is the most important form of honor. And this memory today is a memory that I am extremely grateful to stand here to be part of. Lastly, I'd like to say to those who write and talk about the fact that there are no heroes in America today. Oh, we see so much attention given to celebrities, to athletes, to those on the covers of People magazine, on the nightly news. What we have here today are genuine American heroes. You are the heroes. You need only to come to the New York State Legislature to see in this corner of our state Senate where heroes are. We thank you for your service. We thank you for being the genuine heroes of America. Thank you, Madam President.
Senator DeFrancisco.
Very quickly, I remember the 50th anniversary of World War II, the 50th anniversary of the Korean War veterans, and I did not serve in combat, but I was in the Air Force during Vietnam. I remember that back then in those celebrations, the soldiers were a lot older then. Now you guys look so young, like all the Vietnam veterans. And you look so young, I think, because you've gone through such great hardships during the war, the Vietnam War, and have experienced so much that you, more than all of us probably, are grateful for what we have here in this country. And I just want to also thank you for your service. We all remember individuals who we served with that died, or friends that died in that terrible, terrible war. And I just want to also recognize them. They couldn't make it back. And it's really, really a sad situation. And lastly, when you came back, and my friends came back to the base I was at, nobody got a standing ovation. They were vilified. It wasn't that they were just brought back. They were being blamed for political decisions that they had nothing to do with, and they simply had to follow the orders that were given. And that was horrible. That's why it's so heartwarming today to see the reaction we have to the soldiers of today as they come back, and the things that we've been able to do in the state legislature for them as well as the federal government. So you paved the way for what's happening now, and God bless all of you and all of those who served that didn't make it back. Thank you for being here.
Senator Latimer.
Thank you, Madam President. And thank you, Senator Croce, and all those who made this moment possible. In the late 60s, the older brother of a friend of mine came back from Vietnam. And I remember seeing him at my friend's house, and he had a red jacket on. I guess it was satin. It looked like satin. What I remember most of all on the back of it was a map of Vietnam and a dragon. And it said, "When I die, I'm going to heaven because I spent my time in hell." And it had on it the names of different cities. I'm not sure I remember them exactly: Da Nang, Khe Sanh, Hue. And I remember trying to get any kind of information out of him about what his experience was like, and he couldn't talk about it. And I realize now, all these years later, what we saw on the evening news with Walter Cronkite, or whatever evening news we saw, and the horror that we saw, probably for the first time, American warfare on television, that moms and dads and little kids and all sorts of folks could watch, couldn't convey the horrors that you and your brothers saw while you were in that place. It's hard to imagine the number of years that have gone by, and it's hard to imagine that as much as we remember the men and women who fought in World War II, most of us when we were younger probably met World War I veterans, maybe even a Spanish-American veteran, and then more recently, Desert Storm and those who braved to fight in Iraq. I mentioned in an earlier session my nephew who's deployed in the Middle East now, that somehow those of you that fought during that experience in whatever branch of the military you fought, Marines, Army, Navy, Air Force, that somehow you never got your true respect. And I congratulate again Senator Croce for making this opportunity for all of us to say thank you and to understand that you will indeed spend your time in heaven because on our behalf, you spent your time in hell.
Senator Hassel-Thompson.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise to congratulate Senator Croce for this resolution and for the opportunity to thank the veterans who have come today and those who will never be able to come to these chambers. I had two cousins that went to Vietnam. One was a very young man. He was in my wedding, full of life, spit and vinegar, as they say. When he came back from Vietnam, it was like a very dark cloud that was over his whole spirit, and he was never the same again. The other young man, Ernie, full of life, couldn't wait to be in the war, couldn't wait to save America. Never came home. The thing that's the most painful is not the lives, their lives that they gave and dedicated and committed, but the issue is how we treated the returning vets and how we never thanked them as we did those who came back from World War II and World War I. We made them feel as though they had disgraced us, when all they did was to do what their commanding officer said for them to do, to fight for freedom. I thank you for the opportunity, Senator Croce, and for all of you who are here today, and certainly for you as veterans. Some of you I know your names, some of you I know your faces. But it's very gratifying to have the opportunity to thank you in person for what you've done for the United States of America, and finally for us to be able to tell you, job well done.
Senator Stavisky.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to welcome back to Albany the National Commander of the Veterans, John Rowan, who I've known for many years, and to thank him for his service along with that of his colleagues. A number of years ago, we held a hearing on what public higher education is doing to help our veterans, because I am absolutely convinced we should be doing more. And hopefully in the days ahead, we will pay a little more attention to the service and what we as a community can do to welcome people back to civilian life and understand that the college student of today who is a veteran is very different from the other students in their class. And one way we can say thank you is to make life just a little bit easier for our returning veterans. But welcome back to Albany, Commander Rowan.
Senator Sanders.
Thank you, Madam President. I was reminiscing a few moments ago with my fellow Marine who, after 50 years, could still fit in his uniform. I could fit in mine, I just couldn't get out of it once I tried. Outstanding. General Sherman said that war is hell. War is the closest that humans have created to hell on earth. And we have to remember that troopers don't see it that way in one sense. One of the famous English poets, of course, said that ours is not to question why. Ours is just to do or die. That if they say take that hill, that's the hill we take. If they say leave that hill after we took it, we leave the hill after we've taken it. America, of course, should choose wisely whenever it sends its children into harm's way. But if we choose to go in, then we should go in to win. We should think wisely. It should be a threat to America itself. But if we choose to go in, we should go in all the way and pursue it to wherever it takes us, to the ends of the earth and beyond. Politicians, of course, declare war, not the troops. And it was a mistake by many people of that day. If they had some problem with war, then and now, they should take it up with politicians at a higher body than this one, of course. Congress declares war, so they should take it up at that level. But there are ways that we can honor these gentlemen and others. We can make sure that in just a few minutes, in just a few hours, the budget is going to come before us. And if we really want to honor these folk, we have to make sure that there's money in this budget so that no veteran is homeless. That there's money in this budget, that their needs are taken care of. It's a disgrace that we have to fight for the VA medical system that's underfunded as it is now. It's a disgrace. We need to back up all of these good pronouncements that we're making and move money to make sure that we don't just give them a slap on their back as they go to their homeless shelter, not these gentlemen, but others, but that indeed we make sure that we give them not a handout, because no veteran wants that, but a hand up. Welcome home. God bless you all. Semper Fi.
Seeing no others wishing to be heard, the question is on the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Mr. Floor Leader.
Senators Croce and Murphy have agreed that this resolution is open for sponsorship from the entire House. And if you don't want to be a sponsor, then please approach the desk. Otherwise, you will be a sponsor of this legislation.
The resolution is open for co-sponsorship. If you do not wish to be a co-sponsor, please notify the desk. Mr. Floor Leader.
Could we now take up Resolution 4553, read it in its entirety, and call on Senator Diaz?
The Secretary will read.
Legislative Resolution Number 4553 by Senator Diaz, memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim March 2016 as Bangladeshi American Heritage Month in the state of New York. Whereas, it is a sense of this legislative body, in keeping with its time-honored traditions, to recognize and pay tribute to those who foster ethnic pride and enhance the profile of cultural diversity, which strengthen the fabric of the communities of New York State. And whereas the citizens of this great Empire State are proud to recognize and commemorate Bangladeshi American Heritage Month, an observance which celebrates the contributions of Bangladeshi Americans to New York State's unique heritage. And whereas this legislative body is justly proud to memorialize Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim March 2016 as Bangladeshi American Heritage Month in the state of New York. And whereas March 26 marks the 45th anniversary of the independence of Bangladesh. And whereas more than 74,000 Bangladeshi immigrants live in New York City, a 20% increase since 2009, making them the 11th largest foreign-born population in the city. And whereas Bangladeshi Americans maintain large residential communities in Parkchester in the Bronx, Kensington in Brooklyn, and Richmond Hill and Jamaica Hills in Queens, among other neighborhoods and communities throughout the state of New York. And whereas our state and nation are blessed with many citizens of Bangladesh descent who are distinguished by their excellence and their contributions to all fields of endeavor. Some of these esteemed residents include Jawad Karim, co-founder of YouTube, Abul Hussam, inventor of the Sono arsenic filter, Abu M. Sifulistan, first Muslim to be appointed Amen of the United States Navy, M. Osman Sadiq, American diplomat and second Muslim American to serve as U.S. ambassador, and Hanson Clark, former U.S. congressman and first Bangladeshi American to serve in Congress. And whereas, moreover, Bangladeshi Americans have greatly contributed to the leadership, wisdom, and vitality of our great state and nation, have become engaged in community life, and are represented among a wide array of professions and careers such as doctors, engineers, computer scientists, programmers, web designers, lawyers, accountants, professors, research scientists, pharmacists, nurses, investment bankers, insurers, management consultants, poets, writers, columnists, journalists, editors, members of the military, and consultants in federal and state government. And whereas it is the practice of this legislative body to recognize those important months which remind us of the rich and diverse heritage of our great state and nation. And whereas it is duly fitting that all New Yorkers join these important celebrations of one of the state's most vibrant communities, this much anticipated observance and its accompanying activities will foster great appreciation for Bangladeshi culture and serve to promote the spirit of cooperation that is a characteristic of all citizens of New York State. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this legislative body pauses its deliberations to memorialize Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim March 2016 as Bangladeshi American Heritage Month in the state of New York, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution suitably engrossed be transmitted to the Honorable Andrew M. Cuomo, Governor of the state of New York.
Senator Diaz.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, member of the Senate chamber, you should know that today I take this opportunity, Mr. President, to express my appreciation and thanks the leaders of this chamber, Senator John Flanagan, the leaders of the Republican Conference, Senator Andreas Tuakosi, the leader of the Democratic Conference, Mr. Frank Patient, the Secretary of the Senate, and all of the members of this chamber for granting me the opportunity to introduce this legislation, or this resolution. It is important, Mr. President, for you to know that today this Puerto Rican is proud to be here one more time, to introduce and recognize the contribution of the Bangladesh community on the city and the state of New York. As you remember, just last week, Tuesday, March 15, I brought and introduced more than 50 members of the Garifuna community to celebrate the Garifuna American Heritage Month. And today, ladies and gentlemen, this proud Puerto Rican from a town called Bayamón with kinky hairs and broken English is proud to be able to sponsor this resolution celebrating Bangladesh Heritage Month for the 4th consecutive year in this chamber. As you can see, Mr. President, and my fellow colleagues, Today we are joined in the Senate gallery by more than 100 Bangladesh community from New York City. Look at that. Look at the member over there. They came here to witness this special day, and we also are joined here in the floor chamber by 6 leaders of the Bangladesh delegation who are joining us here, and they are Junaid Ahmed Choudhury. There you are. They also Muhammad Khalifur Rahman, Korab Ali, Manyoor Choudhury Yugol. I'm getting there. Tawfiq Rahman, I'm telling you. Sheikh Al Mamun, Aman Muhammad Islam, who gave the invocation. They here today all the way from the city of New York. It is important for you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that March 26 is the Bangladesh National Independence Day. This day is celebrated in Bangladesh and also all around the world in honor of its country declaration of independence from Pakistan. Mr. President, and my fellow senators, ladies and gentlemen, it is important also for you to know that today we commemorate and remember the thousands of people who lost their life in the Bangladesh Liberation War, a war that started on March 26, 1971. This was the day that the Bangladesh people stood up to the Pakistani army. Another important moment in the history of the Bangladesh community is that the first election in the history of Pakistan was held on December 7, 1970. December 7 is an important day to me to remember. On December 7, 1941, the United States of America was attacked by the imperial forces of Japan at Pearl Harbor. On December 7, 1954, my mother passed away. And on December 7, 1970, Pakistan held its first election. You must know, Mr. President, that on this important occasion, during that day, Shaur Rahman proclaimed to all the Bangladesh people that the independent Bangladesh Republic of Bangladesh had been established. Ladies and gentlemen, you should also know that after 9 long months of war, the Pakistani army finally surrendered unconditionally. And while many lives were lost, Bangladesh as a country gained its freedom and independence. And that is why we are here today, to remember and to celebrate the Bangladesh Heritage Month. To conclude, once again, Mr. President, I want to acknowledge the delegation and express to all of them my appreciation for accepting my invitation to come to the chamber and to join us here. To all of them I say, Assalamu alaikum, Dano Ba. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you very much. And also, Mr. President, I have to present the Queen. Forgot to present the Queen. She's the North American, look at that, Bangladesh. Thank you very much, and thank you, Shahid, for accepting my invitation for organizing the group. To all of you, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Senate, thank you for, allowing us to come to the chamber. To all of you, my fellow resident from the Bronx, I love you. Thank you.
Senator Prasad.
Thank you, Mr. President. This afternoon, I congratulate the Bangladeshi people on their 45th anniversary independence from Pakistan. A few years ago, I met this dynamic group of people. They immediately embraced me, and they've been strong supporters of me. In the 19th Senatorial District, we have a growing population of dynamic, again, I must say dynamic, Bengali people. They are hard workers, they're staunch family members, they are community advocates, and they make our community a better place. They are from a country that has the 8th largest population in the world. And their population is also spread around many countries. And we are fortunate to have them in our country, in our midst. They make us a better people. So, Mr. President, again, I congratulate the Bengali people who are here today, and for all of you who are celebrating the month-long celebration. Congratulations on your 45th anniversary. I wish you many, many more. Enjoy the rest of your celebration. Thank you.
Senator Stavisky.
Thank you. I just want to welcome those of you who are from Queens especially. I represent a number of communities in Western Queens, which has a large community delegation of people who are from Bangladesh. And I want to congratulate you on your 45th anniversary. And particularly, what I find particularly significant is the fact that everybody in Queens works together. We speak something like 140 languages. We come from all parts of the world, including South Asia, and yet we work together to celebrate each other's cultural heritage. And you bring such a rich, long heritage to our country, and you make us that much better for it. So welcome to Albany, and again, congratulations.
Senator Peralta.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to welcome the Bangladeshi delegation here today. Happy 45th anniversary for your independence. A little less than 2 decades before declaring independence on March 26, 1971, after a 9-month civil war against the Pakistani army, there were clear signs of your resistance, most notably the Bengali language movement that ignited in 1952, and of course the presence of the Awami League, the political voice of the Bengali-speaking population. You have made gigantic contributions to our community and to New York as a whole, in politics, in the economy, in the arts, and the sciences, and more. I have a growing population of Bangladeshi community in Jackson Heights, Queens, and I'm hoping that some of you are from Jackson Heights, Queens. Thank you. But I wanted to welcome you and wish you the best, celebrating 45 years of the anniversary of your independence. You are the epitome of what individuals come to this country for, to live that American dream, to work hard, play by the rules, and move forward in society. So congratulations on your independence, and welcome to the state capitol.
The Senate welcomes our delegation and extends to you all of the courtesies and privileges of the House. Thank you for being with us. The question is on the resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed?